What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I wanted to break down what's happening with SPY, Tsla, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers, and break down what's happening with the economic calendar moving forward, what's going on with other factors involving the markets, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But before we get into all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, deposit $100, you're guaranteed 7 free stocks. The offer ends very soon, in just about 13 days from now. So anyways, for the markets, we just got the CPI data report. Once again, guys, I don't truly trust all the numbers that come out. They're very manipulated. They're very biased. And despite that, the market still kind of makes its moves based off of them anyways. So we have to accept them. We have to just look at them and just go based off of them. And right now, the numbers are looking pretty good. And this is what's helping the market pump to new all-time highs. So the numbers came out. Core CPI month over month was 0.3%. This is once again aligned with expectations. Core CPI year over year was 3.6%, aligned with expectations. Uh, CPI for all items month over month was 0.3%, aligned with expectations. And then once again, CPI year over year was 3.4%, perfectly aligned with expectations again. Retail sales are also just very flat, below expectations, which is showing contraction in the economy. And that is once again good for inflationary data. And on top of all of that, just know that Cash Kari gives a speech at noon, not to mention Bowman at 3:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's pretty much it for data for today. But once again, the CPI data was decent. The market is pumping to new all-time highs thanks to it. And this is what the chart looks like right here. So all items without food and energy are actually dipping. Core CPI is coming down a bit towards that 3.5 area. And then CPI for all items is also decreasing a bit. So we're still seeing progress, at least according to the data. And the market is just continuing to push thanks to this. We're seeing the Dow futures jump 100 points as CPI is coming less than expected. The market's excited about this. We're seeing a lot of headlines about how this is just continuing to fuel another rally, and our yields are continuing to fall as a result of this as well, because the Fed is now expected to be less hawkish. We are seeing futures basically jump. There's some signs of relief right here about how, in April, we're starting to see prices. The rate at which prices are increasing is falling down closer to the Fed's targets. The market's still continuing to rally. There's more AI competition than ever, as Google just used its annual developers conference to announce more important developments, such as their new Gemini 1.5 Flash model. There's been a lot of news about Boeing. They're in a lot of trouble right now involving federal prosecutors. They have to respond to some issues that happened. Otherwise, they're going to have to be fined, and etc. And finally, for Walmart, they're laying off a large percentage of their employees in Arkansas. So that's something very important as well, as we're seeing contraction perpetuate. For more data, I just wanted to mention that for today, we just had Monday.com announce their earnings. They did relatively well. They're up 20%. They beat on Q1 revenue, and they had very, very strong guidance right here for the full fiscal 2024. That's why the share price is up quite a bit. But now let's just talk about the charts and break down how things are looking, in my personal opinion. So the answer is bullish, guys. The market's looking bullish. I know that it's very illogical how the market could just pump and pump and pump and pump. Even though we got a hot inflationary report yesterday, the market dipped, then got bought back up. Powell helped the market pump higher, and that pump is continuing today as we just got CPI. The market's continuing to push. As I kind of hide these, you guys can see that it's just continuing to hit these new all-time highs, and we're continuing to see a big amount of buyers defending their positions. So from the way I see things, SPY is going to be having this resistance at this 526.5 area. If we break through that, we're going to be looking at 528 and then 530 as our potential targets. If you reject off 526.5, we're going to be looking at 525 as key support, followed by 524 and then 522.6. Overall, SPY is bullish. We're looking at a bullish cross in the PPO, and there is more upside potential. It is possible we dip a little bit, retest the 525s, and continue higher as the most likely possibility. And 528 is still on the table. We could get closer to 530. The market is still looking bullish as of right now. Could this change in the future? It sure could, but there's no sign of it changing yet. And we're continuing to push as time progresses. For Tesla, in my opinion, is also looking very bullish. We have a nice inverse head and shoulders like structure, and the full measured move would take this all the way up to about 185. We're currently at 180 a share, so I do anticipate more upside that's coming for it. So I'll be watching to see if that ends up being the case, but just know that the share price is looking bullish for Tesla. For Nvidia, we're also looking bullish. We're approaching this 930 resistance. We also broke out of this accumulation structure. If you zoom out of the chart like this and kind of hide all of these lines, you guys can see what this is looking like: a giant slanted inverse head and shoulders, and we could be pushing all the way up towards that 960 area over the next couple of weeks. So we're looking very, very bullish on Nvidia. I think that we're going to be hitting 930 very soon. If that breaks, 944 is coming again. The chart looks bullish overall. QQQ has resistance at 448, not to mention 450 and then 452. We have a support at 446 and 444. We might retest 448, kind of shuffle in this area, and start pushing higher towards 450 again, then eventually 452. So we look bullish overall. For Aapl, Apple's approaching 188. If we break through this, we're going to be slowly making our way up towards this 189 area, then 190. We have support at 187, but I do favor a little bit more upside on Aapl. It has a lot more potential. For Coinbase, Coinbase is looking more bullish overall. We have an imbalance to fill all the way up on the 4-hour time frame. We could be looking for a move towards 215. So we are looking more bullish. Could we retest support at 208 and then start pushing higher? Yes, we could, but we could also just go straight up to 215. So either we come down a bit and then start pushing higher, or we just push up to 215 from here. For Amazon, we're at 187. We're not really getting as much of a break on Amazon. If we do try to push higher above 187, we could be making our way up towards 190. But overall, Amazon's not as strong, and we have to try to break 187 to do so. So we're kind of shuffling at 187 for now. I think it might continue to shuffle, but if we do get that break, we'll look for a bigger move. We're not really getting that yet. Meta looks a little bit more bullish to me. Watch 475 as resistance. If we break this, watch for 478 for an imbalance fill. So I do see a little bit more upside potential, but it's not as strong as the overall market. For a few more, GameStop is dipping a bit. We might see this actually retrace towards, in my opinion, 37. So watch 40 to 37 as support. We might retest that before we try to rebound. There's not really a lot of focus on them. More focuses on the big to mid caps, the large to mid caps. And then we also have AMC dipping towards 5.37. So we'll have to see how that goes. The VIX is falling to fill its gap. It hasn't fully filled the gap, which shows more downside as the market has more upside potential. So right now, the charts are bullish overall. SPY could retest the 525s and try to rebound higher, but just know that right now that's what the charts look like, and we'll see how things go from here. With that being said, the bulls are currently pushing the market higher. We'll see if we get a little dip upon open. We might dip a little bit, and then we'll see if bulls come back and try to defend. The market is approaching all-time highs, so be careful, guys, because we're hitting new territory. So watch your levels very carefully. Do what you have to do, and I will most definitely see you guys in just a couple of hours. I thank you all so much for listening. Have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. Know that the market's in a very, very critical place, and it's still favoring bulls for now, but make sure you watch your levels just to be safe. All right, have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys in a few hours, and peace out.